Hello everyone. So today's topic is shortest path algorithms. So in our syllabus we have one shortest path algorithm. So that is a Warshall algorithm, also known as Floyd-Warshalls. So Floyd-Warshalls algorithm is a famous algorithm. It is used to solve all pair shortest path problem. So generally this algorithm comes under dynamic programming. So don't worry, we will see one by one in the example. Okay. So before understanding what exactly the Warshalls or Floyd-Warshalls algorithm is and how can we solve the problem and how do we find out shortest path between every pair of vertices or all pairs. So generally this particular Warshalls algorithm works on the principle of transitive closure. So I think all of you are aware of what is transitive closure. We have seen that particular concept in the introductory part. Okay, so let us have a recap. Suppose we have a graph. That particular graph consists of only three vertices, namely A, B, and C. See, if you observe, this particular graph is a directed graph. There is an edge between A and B, but there is no edge from B to A because it is a directed graph. And similarly, B to C, there is an edge, directed edge, which of cost 4. Okay. So if at all I want to traverse from A to C, means I want to visit C from A, is there any direct path? No, there is no direct path. So A is connected to B, B is connected to C. So by means of B, with the help of B, I can visit C in this particular situation. Okay. So what is the total cost? Traversing from A to B will take of cost 2. Traversing from B to C will take off cost 4. So total cost is 6. So by means of some intermediate node B, I am able to traverse or visit from A to C. So what happens if there is an edge between A to C directly? Suppose there is an edge. So let us assume there is an edge from A to C directly, which is a directed edge. Let us assume the cost is 10. If you observe, if I am traversing from A to C by means of an intermediate node or vertex B, I am able to traverse with a cost of 6 units. If I am traversing from A to C directly with the directed edge from A to C, it takes 10 units of cost. So if we compare these two, which one is smaller? 6 is smaller. So that is what we will see in Warshall's algorithm. So transitive closure means if there is a path, direct path, there is no problem. If there is no direct path from one vertex to the other vertex, we will take help of some intermediate vertices. Then we will move from one to other vertices. So what is the total cost becomes? So what are all the intermediate nodes? That much will be the total cost. In this particular case, so I am assuming that there is no direct edge in between A to C. So there is only one way to traverse from A to C is by means of B. Okay. So A to B traversing will take off cost 2 and B to C will take off cost 4. So total from A to C is of cost 6. Okay. Suppose we have an example over here. So how to find shortest path between every pair of vertices? So in the earlier case, what is the shortest path out of this pair of vertices? So we have two choices. So one is by means of intermediate node B and other is directed way and direct way. So in straight away we can move from A to C or else we can move through B. So out of these two, which one is smaller? So this particular 6 is smaller. So taking intermediate node help will leads to lowest cost. So all pair shortest path in the sense we will check the path from between every pair of vertices and we will find out what exactly the total cost is and we will try to manage with minimum cost. Okay. So let us take one example and start exploring this Warshall's algorithm or Floyd-Warshall's algorithm in terms of transitive closure. Okay, so suppose I have a graph over here. So it consists of 4 vertices with labels 1, 2, 3, 4. There are certain edges, all are directed edges with cost. See, if there is a cost, we can directly consider that cost. Okay, so if the given graph is a directed graph but not a weighted graph, then that particular situation, what you have to do is, if there is an edge between any pair of vertices, see, suppose I just want to write a adjacency matrix for this particular graph. Suppose I am calling it as P0 will be the adjacency matrix for this particular graph. So adjacency matrix 1 to 1. Is there any path from 1 to 1? No, there is no path. So in this particular situation, we have to consider all the self loops has to be 0. Okay, so 1 to 1 0, 2 to 3 to 3 0, 4 to 4 0, all zeros. Self loops are zeros because we don't have any self loops. So we are not considering the self loops. So by default, all the diagonal elements 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4, we have to consider them as zeros. So now, if there is a path from one vertex to the other vertex, we have to write that cost. Okay, so now I am starting with first row with first column, second column, third column, and fourth column, and so on. Then I will move on to the next row, next columns. So first one, 1 to 1, no self loop. We don't have any self loop. All we are considering all the self loops as zeros. So no problem. Next 1 to 2. Is there any path from 1 to 2? No. So 1 to 2, there is no direct path. 2 to 1 is directed path. So since we don't have any path from 1 to 2, what we have to do is we have to make it as infinity or infinite. So in this situation, we don't know how much amount of distance it may be, how much amount of cost it may be from 1 to 2. Okay, so for that reason, I am considering it as infinite in the adjacency matrix. Okay, so next one is 1 to 3. Is there any path from 1 to 3? Yes, there is path from 1 to 3. So 1 to 3 path is of cost 2. See, if this particular graph is unweighted graph, then what you have to do is, in place of 2, you have to make it 1. Otherwise, infinity. All diagonal elements are zeros. Are you getting my point? So if the graph is weighted graph, we have to consider that weight. Because 1 to 3 is having a weight or cost of 2, I am making it 1 to 3 as 2. If there is no cost here, means this is not a weighted graph, then consider it as 1. If there is path, make it 1. If there is no path, make it infinity. That's it. Because I have a cost weighted graph here, I am considering it as 2. So 1 to 4, is there any path? 1 to 2, 1 to 4, there is no path. So there is no direct path. So straight away make it as infinity. Okay. So now I am moving to next row, second row. 2 to 1, is there any path? Yes, 2 to 1 there is a path. So what is the cost of it? 4. Next to 2 to 3. 2 to 3, yes, there is a edge. What is the cost? 3. Next 2 to 4. 2 to 4, is there any edge? No, there is no direct edge from 2 to 4. So presently I am making it infinity. Next 3 to 1. 3 to 1, is there any path? No, there is no path. Make it infinity. 3 to 2, is there any path? So make it infinity. 3 to 3, 3 to 4, there is any path? Yes, there is a path. There is an edge from 3 to 4. So which is of cost 2. Next 4 to 1, is there any path? 4 to 1. No, there is no direct edge from 4 to 1. So make 4 to 1 as infinite. 4 to 2, yes, there is an edge of cost 1. So make it 1. 4 to 3. 4 to 3, there is no direct edge. So make it infinite. Okay. So now this is P0 or A0 sometimes we call it as, because it is an adjacency matrix, we got it from the given graph. See, what we have done is, if there is an edge between any pair of vertices, we have noted down the cost of that particular edge. if it is a diagonal element, we are making it as 0. Means self loops 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 4, all we are making them zeros. If there is no direct path from one to one vertex to the other vertex, simply we are making it as infinite. Okay, now we have to use Warshall's algorithm. We need to apply transitive closure and find out what exactly the shortest path between every pair of vertices using the property transitive closure. So now take one more matrix P1. Okay, so I am saying it as P1 in the sense all the first row and first column. Now I am considering first column and first row of this particular matrix will remain same. Means I am considering one as intermediate. Are you getting my point? So first in Warshall's algorithm, so how many matrices you will get? So 0 default, it is adjacency matrix, P1, P2, P3 and so on, Pn. How many matrices you will get is how many vertices are there, that many matrices you will get. So now in the first step, I am considering one as intermediate node, this particular vertex 1 as intermediate. Now I am considering vertex 1 as intermediate node, and I am trying to calculate what exactly the shortest path between the other vertices. Okay, so now I am just simply noting all these values, one first row, first column as same. Yes. So first of all, diagonal elements all are zeros. There will be no change in diagonal elements in any of the matrices P1, P2, P3, P4 and so on, Pn, Pk. Okay, so first column, first row, first column I am considering the same elements. So infinity, 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 4, 2. Yeah. So I have considered one first row and first column as same. So now one as intermediate node, I am trying to find out what is the minimum, what is the shortest path. Okay. So now what exactly data we have to fill? It is 2, 3. 2 to 3. 2 to 3, is there any path? 2 to 3. What is the actual path? 2 to 3 is 3. Now see, observe here. Vertex 2 to vertex 3, there is a direct edge of cost 3. Yes. Okay. 1 as intermediate node, that means we have to traverse from 2 to 1 first and then 1 to 3. Then what is the cost? 2 to 1, is there any direct edge? 2 to 1. So there is an edge of cost. There is an edge of cost 4. 1 to 3, there is an edge of cost 2. So total cost is 4 plus 2, 6. Means if I want to traverse from vertex 2 to vertex 3 by means of intermediate vertex 1, I am able to traverse it of cost 2 to 1 of 4, 1 to 3 of 2, totally 4 plus 2 of 6. There is a direct edge from 2 to 3 which is of cost 3. So now out of these two cost, means cost 3 as well as cost 6, which is minimum? 3 is minimum, right? So now this is the shortest path. 2 to 3 shortest path is 3. I am considering 3. So I got 6 as well as 3. I am considering 3 because every time I just want to find out the shortest path, right? So 3 is shortest path, so I am considering 3. Okay, so I think you are aware of how I am able to write 3 over here. Okay, so next one, just a second. So next one is 2 to 4. Is there any direct path? See, if you observe here in the adjacency matrix, 2 to 4 is infinite, right? So 2 to 4 infinite. So what I have to do is 2 to 4, we have a value of infinite actually. So now I just want to move from 2 to 1 first and then 1 to 4 next. So trying to get what is the minimum value. So 2 to 1, is there any path? Yes, there is a path from 2 to 1 which is of cost 4. 1 to 4, there is no direct path. 1 to 4 is infinite. So 4 plus infinite, totally I will get infinite. So infinite with infinite, which is minimum? So both are same, right? So infinite will remain same over here. Next one, 3 to 2. So 3 to 2, actually 3 to 2 is of cost infinite, right? Actually, so I'm noting it down. If I want to traverse from 3 to 2, I have a cost infinite, means there is no direct path. I'm unable to traverse from 3 to 2. So let us try with intermediate one, 3 to 1, 1 to 2. What is the cost? Try to find it out. So if I want to move from 3 to 1, what is the cost? 3 to 1 is infinite, 1 to 2 is infinite. Infinite plus infinite will make it infinite. So out of these two, which is minimum? So both are infinite, right? So it will remain same. 3 to 4. Next one is 3 to 4. 3 to 4, earlierly we have how much cost? Which is of cost 2, right? So we have at cost 2. So now I am considering 1 as intermediate, right? So I will try to move from 1 to 3 to 1 and 1 to 4. What is the cost I am getting? If I move from 3 to 1, 3 to 1 there is no direct path, so it is infinite, plus 1 to 4, 1 to 4 there is no direct path, it is infinite. So infinite plus infinite, I got infinite. So out of these two, which is minimum? 2 is minimum, right? So I will get 2 over here. Next one, 4 to 2. So 4 to 2, earlierly we have how much cost? 4 to 2 is of 4 to 2, we have cost how much? 1. So 1 as intermediate vertex, 4 to 1, 1 to 2. Let us try to find out how much it will cost. It will take 4 to 1 is 4 to 1 is infinite, plus 1 to 2 is also infinite. So infinite plus infinite, I will get infinite. So out of this one infinite, which is minimum? 1 is minimum, right? So 1 will remain same. Next one is 4 to 3. So 4 to 3, how much we have cost? Infinity, as per adjacency matrix, right? So now I will try to find out it with 1 as intermediate vertex. Okay, so 4 to 3, how much it is having? Earlierly infinity. 4 to 1 means 1 as intermediate vertex. 4 to 1, 1 to 3. So 4 to 1, how much it cost? 4 to 1, it is infinite already, plus 1 to 3. 1 to 3 of cost 2. Infinity plus 2, infinite. So which is minimum? Infinity will remain same. So this particular matrix I got as a resultant of 1 as intermediate vertex, means while I am trying to find out transitive closure or shortest path using vertex 1 as intermediate. So now we got P1, right? So similarly we have to do P2, P3 and P4. Finally we will be able to eliminate most of the infinite paths, means we can find out the shortest path. Okay, so let us try to write one more step. See, if you observe clearly, dynamic programming will save will store the data in a tabular format that we have seen earlier. Yes. So if you observe here, we are storing the data in a tabular format, and using this, we are able to modify it. Every time we will store the data. Okay. So now I'm taking see now I'm going to write P2, right? So now it is not my P1, it is my P2. So what P2 means? So second row and second column of the matrix, the second row, second column will remain same. Now I am making second row as same. So there will be no change in the second row and second column. What I will do is, so I will make second row and second column remain same. So this is original matrix. Here so this is P1 and this is P2. So from P1 I have to take P2. Do remember this point. So this is P1. So this from P1, what I have to make is I have to make second row, second column has remain same. So I will make it remain same. Then I will try to find out the minimum cost. So now the second row and second column will remain same, as well as diagonal elements will remain same. So all are zeros remaining. So now P2, in the sense I am considering second vertex. I'm considering second vertex as intermediate vertex. I'm trying to find out what exactly the minimum cost or shortest path is. So earlier now, what is the next step that we have to do is we have to find out the path from 1 to 3. So 1 to 3 we have already of cost 2 if you observe here. So if 2 is intermediate node from our vertex, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, how much it will be? So 1 to 2 is of cost infinite, 2 to 3 is of cost 3. So 0, the infinite plus 3 will make not 3, it is infinite. So which is minimum? 2 is minimum, right? So 2 will remain same. Next one, 1 to 4. So 1 to 4, so 1 to 4 how much cost? It is earlierly infinite, right? If you observe here, infinite. So 1 to 4 we have a cost of infinite. So now I am traversing through 2. So 1 to 2, 2 to 4. Let us find out how much it will be. So 1 to 2 is infinite plus 2 to 4 is infinite. Ultimately I will get infinite. So infinite will remain same over here. No change in this. Okay. So next I have to fill 3 1, right? So 3 2 1. 3 to 1, how much there is there is infinity, means there is no direct edge. So let us find out 3 to 2 and then 2 to 1. So 3 to 2 how much cost? 3 to 2. 3 to 2 there is no direct path. So 3 to 2 is infinite. 2 to 1 is 4. Infinity plus 4 makes infinite. So infinity will remain same. Next one 3 to 4. So 3 to 4, what is the cost earlierly? 3 to 4 is of cost 2. So most probably there will be no change in this. So 3 to 2, sorry, 3 to 4, we have cost 2. Okay, so 2 as intermediate vertex, 3 to 2, 2 to 4, we have to find it out. 3 to 2 is of cost infinite. 2 to 4 is of cost infinite. So ultimately we'll get infinite. Infinity and 2, which is minimum? So 2 is minimum, right? So 2 will remain same. Next 4 to 1. So 4 to 1 earlier we have infinite, right? 4 to 1 there is no direct edge. So 4 to 1 is infinite. So put 2 as intermediate vertex, 4 to 2, 2 to 1. So what happens? Let us see. So 4 to 2 is 1, 2 to 1 is 4. Totally we get 5. So interestingly, infinity will replace as 5 over here. So 4 to 2, if you observe 4 to 2 is 1, 2 to 1 is 4. So 4 plus 1 is 5. So we will eliminated one minus, means one infinite value with 5. Means there is no direct path from 1 to 4. So there may be some intermediate help of some intermediate node 2. We are able to get path from 1 to 4 to 1. Okay. So 4 to 1 there is no direct path. With help of 2 we are able to traverse from 4 to 1 with the total cost of 1 plus 4 is 5. So this one of these infinites is eliminated. So similarly we have to find it out P3 and P4. We are able to eliminate most of the infinites and we will try to find out the minimum cost. So infinity 5, which is minimum, 5 is minimum. So now we are able to eliminate one infinite value and we are able to find out a shortest path from 4 to 1. Instead of infinite we got 5. Okay. So similarly we need to have, so 4 to 3. So 4 to 3, what is the cost? So 4 to 3 is infinite earlierly. So with the help of 2 intermediate node, so let us see, will it be reduced to some other value? So 4 to 2 and 2 to 3. So 4 to 2 is of cost 1. 2 to 3, yes, there is an edge. 2 to 3 is of cost 3. So 1 plus 3 is 4. Yes, we are able to eliminate this particular infinite value. Means we are able to find out a shortest path from 4 to 3, even though there is no direct edge from 4 to 3. 2 as intermediate vertex, we are able to traverse it, right? So 1 plus 3 is 4. So now we have eliminated 2 infinite values and we are able to find out some path from one vertex to the other vertex which don't have any direct edges. By means of intermediate or by means of the property transitive closure, we are able to find out the shortest path from 4 to 1 as well as 4 to 3. So now this is second step. So we have completed successfully the second step and we have pending with step 3 and step 4. The thing is, in step 3 we have to consider P2 as the matrix and as a P2 source we have to make same thing, third row and third column. Third row and third column we have to make it as a same, because we are traversing through 3, so there will be no change in third row and third column. Do remember this point. See why we are making while writing P2, why we are making a second row, second column same means if we traverse through a particular vertex, then there will be no change. So that is the reason we are making them as same. So now we have P2 over here. So now what I have to do is I want to make this P2 as P3. So how can I make it? So P3 means we are moving towards a vertex 3. So make third row, third column same. So remaining will get updated. Third row, third column, third row. Okay, so now I am making third row and third column from P2 as remains same. So I'm just trying to find out 3 as intermediate vertex. Is there any shortest path? So that is the reason we are calling this particular algorithm as all pair shortest path. See, if you observe clearly, in P1 we are making 1 as intermediate. In P2 we are making 2 as intermediate. In P3 we are making 3 as intermediate. In P4 we are making vertex 4 as intermediate, and so on. Pk, k is an intermediate node, we are making them. So every time by taking every vertex as intermediate, we are just trying to find out the shortest path between every pair of vertices. So that is the reason this algorithm is so called as all pair shortest path algorithm, or algorithm which follows a transitive closure property. In the examination, they may be ask you like explain the following process using transitive closure property. Explain the finding shortest path using transitive closure property. So then directly it is nothing but Warshall's algorithm. We have to apply Warshall's algorithm. Okay. So it is indirect way of asking a question. So now let us see 3 as intermediate node, right? So 3 as intermediate, how can we do this? So let us start from 1 to 2 because we need to fill 1 to 2 first. So 1 to 2, earlier it is of cost infinity. So now 1 to 3, 3 to 2, how much cost it will be? 1 to 3 is of cost 2 plus 3 to 2 is of cost. There is no direct edge from 3 to 2. So 3 to 2 is infinite. So we will get infinite again. So infinite will remains same. 1 to 3, 3 to 2 as infinity. So 1 to 3, there is an edge. 3 to 2, yes, there is no edge. Okay, right. Move on to next one. Next one is 1 to 4. So 1 to 4 is, we already have infinite, right? So 1 to 4 is infinite. So let us try to find out with intermediate 3. 1 to 3, 3 to 4. See, if you observe clearly, every time we are adding this 3 in P3, 2 in P2, 1 in P1, 4 in P4. Okay. So what will be the cost? So 1 to 3. 1 to 3 is of cost 2 plus 3 to 4 is of cost 2. Yes, 1 to 3, 3 to 4. So 1 to 4 is of cost 2 plus 2, 4. Yes, we are able to eliminate one infinite value over here by using the transitive closure property of 3. Okay. So now the value of 1 comma 4 becomes 3 instead of infinite, because out of these two, which is minimum, 4 is minimum, right? Okay. So now we got one path from 1 to 4 by means of 3, that is 2 plus 2, 4. So infinity 4, which is minimum, 4 is minimum. That is the reason I am considering it as 4. So in the second step, in the third matrix P3, I am able to eliminate one more infinite value. In P2 I have eliminated 2. In P3 just now I have eliminated 1. Okay, now 2 to 1. So what is 2 to 1 cost? 4. Probably no change in this. So let us see. 2 to 1 is of cost 4, right? So 2 to 3, 3, 2, 1. So what will be the cost? Let us see. So 2 to 3 is of cost 3. 3 to 1 is of cost infinite. So ultimately I will get infinite. So 4 infinite, which is minimum. So 4 is minimum. So 4 will remain same, no change in this. So next one is 2 to 4. So find out the path. 2 to 4 is actually what is the value? Infinite. So 2 to 4 is infinite. So let us find out with intermediate 3. 2 to 3, then 3 to 4. So then what happens? Let us see. So 2 to 3 is of cost 3. Okay, we got path. 3 to 4 is of path 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So 2 to 4. 2 to 4 we have how much value? Infinite value. So I am taking intermediate vertex with help of 3. So 2 to 3. 3 to 4. So 2 to 3 is of cost 3. 3 to 4 is of cost 2. Totally I am able to get 4. So infinite and 5. Which is minimum? 5 is minimum, right? So again I am going to eliminate one more infinite value over here, which replaces some shortest path by means of vertex 3. Okay. So I think now you are completely aware of what exactly I am doing. Okay. So next one we need to fill up is 4 to 1. So 4 to 1 is already 5. So actually we got it from infinity value. So probably there will be no change. But let us see what is happening. Let us check. 4 to 1. 4 to 1 we have value 5. So by means of intermediate node, intermediate vertex 3, let us see 4 to 3, 3 to 1. What is happening? Let us observe. 4 to 3 is of cost infinite. Sorry, 4 to 3 is of cost. How much? 4 to 3 is of cost 4. 3 to 1 is of cost infinite. So infinite and 5. 5 will remain same. Okay. So there will be no change in this. 5 will remain same. And next step, 4 to 2. 4 to 2 is 1. So probably it is a very smallest value. There will be no change. But let us see what is happening. Check it out. 4 to 2 is of cost 1. So 3 as intermediate vertex. 4 to 3. 3 to 2. Let us check it out what is happening. 4 to 3 is of cost 4. 3 to 2 is of cost infinite. So 4 plus infinite. So minimum is 1. So 1 will remain same. See, if you observe clearly, I am able to eliminate all the infinite values one by one. So still how many pending? 1, 2, 3 are pending. So if you go through P4, so obviously we are able to eliminate remaining one. Okay. So now I am considering I am about to write P4, which is the last one in the last step in the process. So now this is my P3, right? So from P3 I am going to write P4. So P4 in the sense fourth row, fourth column. This is fourth column, right? So fourth row and fourth column will remain same. So now let me eliminate remaining one. Yes, fourth row and fourth column. See, do remember one point. See, if we are moving from P1 to P2, P2 to P3, see, if you observe here, 4 to 1, is there any path? 4 to 1, we are writing 5. So don't go and check in the graph again. 4 to 1, there is no edge. How can we make it 5? So based on P1, we are writing P2. Based on P2, we are writing P3. Based on P3, we are writing P4. So while writing P4, only look at P3 matrix. Okay, do remember this point every time. Now, 1 to 2. Is there any path? Already we have infinite over here. So let us see what is happening. So 1 to 2, we have already infinite. By means of intermediate 4, 1 to 4, 4 to 2. See, 1 to 4, how much cost? 1 to 4 is infinite. No, 1 to 4 is 4. If you observe here, based on P3, we have 1 to 4 is 4. 4 to 2 is 1. Yes, we are able to eliminate one more infinite value. 4 plus 1 is 1 to 4 is 4. See, if you observe P3, 1 to 4 is of 4. 4 to 2 is of 1. So total we got 5. So infinite and 5, which is minimum? 5 is minimum, right? So yes, we have eliminated one more infinite, means we are able to find out the shortest path again and again. So now I'm going to fill up 1 to 3. So 1 2 3. See, if I am calling 1 to 2, if I am taking 2 as intermediate vertex, I can consider 1 also as an intermediate vertex. Are you able to getting my point? See, if I am traversing from 1 as intermediate, I can move with 1 only. If I am traversing from 1 to 2 or 2 as intermediate vertex, I can consider 1 and 2 both are intermediate vertex. See, simply what I can say is, if it is P1, only intermediate vertex is 1. If it is P2, we can consider both vertex 1 and vertex 2 as intermediate vertices. So if you got combination minimum or individual minimum, so whatever it is, ultimately we have to consider minimum value or shortest value. So if it is P3, we are considering only 3, right, in the earlier example. So P3, if it is P3, not only 3 we can consider it as an intermediate, we can consider 3, 2 and 1 are also all are as an intermediate. So if it is P4, we can consider 3, 2, 1 and 4, means all are intermediate. We can consider them and we can find out what is the shortest path between every pair of vertices. So that is the beauty with this transitive closure property. And do remember the tabular values. So while writing P4, only look at P3. Otherwise, you will get wrong answers. So P4, 1 to 3, I am going to fill up. So 1 to 3 is of how much cost? Already 2. So probably there will be no change because 2 is the smallest value. So let us see what is happening. 1 to 3 is of cost 2. So 4 as intermediate vertex. So 1 to 4 and 4 to 3. So 1 to 4 is 1 to 4, there is no direct path if you observe clearly. 1 to 4, but it is 4. How? 1 to 3, 3 to 4 means even it is in between 4, I am considering 1 to 3, 3 to 4. So then only 1 to 4 is of value 4, because 2 plus 2 na. 2 plus 2 will get 1 to 4 as 4. So now 4 to 3. So 4 to 3, there is no direct path again. See 4 to 3 is how much? 4. How? So 4 to 2, 1 and 1, 2 to 3, 4. So 4 plus 4, how much? 8. So 2, 8, which is minimum? Again 2 is minimum, right? So 2 will remain same. So next one is 2 to 1. So 2 to 1 is 4. Probably there will be no change. Okay, let us observe what is happening with 2 to 1. 2 to 1. So 2 to 1 is 4. So 2 to 4. 4 to 1 is how much? So 2 to 4. So 2 to 4, there is no direct path. I have to move from 2 to 3, 3 to 4. So 2 to 3 is 3, 3 to 4 is 5. So totally 2 to 5, 4 I will get 5. See, if you observe clearly, without calculating the other values, 4, 5, which is minimum, 4 is minimum. So 4 will remain same. Similarly, 0 will remain same, 3 will remain same, observe these infinite values, what is happening. So will we are able to get uh, shortest path, or it will still infinity will remain same. So 3 to 1, 3 to 1, how much it is cost? We have infinite. So 3 to 4 as an intermediate, and 4 to 1 we have to find out what is happening. So 3 to 4 is how much cost? 3 to 4 is cost 2. 4 to 1 is of cost. See, if there is no direct cost, 4 to 2, 2 to 4 is 5. So 2 plus 5 is 7. So which is minimum out of infinite and 7? 7 is minimum, right? So we have eliminated successfully the infinite value with 7. So similarly, we will get the other value also. So 3 to 2, we need to find out 3 to 2. Actually, 3 to 2 is infinite. So considering 4 as intermediate vertex, 3 to 4 and 4 to 2, let us check what is happening. 3 to 4 is of cost 2, plus 4 to 2 is of cost 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So the new cost will be 3. So this particular matrix is the final matrix which have all the transitive closure values. This P4 is having all the transitive closure values. If you observe clearly, the first matrix, transitive closure adjacency matrix, we have how many infinite values? Infinite 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't know we are able to move from 1 to 2 or not in the initial situation P0. But after P1 and P2 and P3 and so on P4, so finally we came to know that yes, there is a path from every pair of vertices, one vertex to the other vertex by means of some intermediate vertices. So that is what this Warshall's algorithm is saying. Okay, so I think now you are aware of what is happening inside Warshall's algorithm. See, if you observe clear this particular point, dynamic programming algorithm solves each sub problem just once and then saves it another in an answer in a table, thereby avoiding the work of recomputing the answers every time. See, if you observe clearly, we are saving the data in a particular table and we are using it further from P1 to P2 and P2 to P3 and so on. Okay, so the data is explaining the same concept. But the thing is, Warshall's algorithm has two versions. So, modified Warshall's algorithm is saying that if there is an edge, make it 1. If there is no edge, make it 0. Okay. So don't make 0, make it infinity. That is what saying this particular modified Warshall's algorithm. So if you observe modified Warshall's algorithm, what it is saying. Okay. Step 1, initialize the shortest path matrix and repeat steps 2. Step 2, for I is equal to 0 to n minus 1, means for all the vertices, we have to repeat the step 2. What step 2 is doing? Repeat step 3 for 0 to n minus 1. See, for every time we are checking that the 0 or infinity. Okay, so 0 is for adjacency list, infinity. So if it is infinite value or some other value, so based on that we are checking. So every time we have to check it out. See, step 4, what is saying? Calculate the shortest path for the matrix and repeat step 5 for k 0 to n minus 1, and repeat step 6, write 0 to n minus 1, repeat step 7. So what exactly is step 7? This is the major part of this particular algorithm. So what exactly it is doing is, every time it is finding out two paths. One is direct path, means if there is direct edge from 1 to 2, it is calculating the total cost, and by means of some intermediate 1 to 2 to 1 to some other, or suppose I just want to traverse from 1 to 4, as I said earlier, I can traverse from directly 1 to 4 if it is having a cost of 10. So if I want to traverse from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, if it is having cost 6, so 6 is minimum, right? So whichever is minimum, we have to consider it. Okay, this process will continue and so on up to the last